So, folks, we gotta talk about Minneapolis and Minnesota and ICE. Before we get into, like, the stuff that's honestly really getting to me these days as somebody who lives there, let's just take a little brief snippet of good news, or at least positive news, and then we'll get into the rest that is less than positive.
Cold weather hasn't stopped people from visiting the memorial for Alex Preddy on Nicollet Avenue. Many people are upset by not one, but two fatal shootings in this community. Some people do say they are hopeful, though, that things are trending towards peace. Others are choosing to wear that hope on their sleeve.
Photojournalist Nick Luneman and Jason Rantala show us the online design that is becoming a popular pick at tattoo parlors.
What started as a sign of resistance showing up as profile photos across platforms.
I was having a very emotional day that day and decided that I needed to do something to mark the moment.
Has now started showing up on skin. The image is called the Rebel Loon, Minnesota's state bird inside a symbol many will recognize.
It spread like wildfire.
Tattoo artists across the Twin Cities say they've been seeing it more and more.
Oh my God, like this is iconic. This is so inspiring. I got chills the first time I saw it.
For people like Jessica Haug, the design represents home and hope.
Loons are graceful, beautiful. They're also powerful.
So powerful it got Sean McCardell's attention.
It's a unification of the two symbols. You've got the rebellion symbol that me, especially as a Gen X kid who actually saw Star Wars in 1977 when I was 5, it's a symbol I have grown up with.
It's now one symbol of many, phoenixes and meadowlarks adopted state by state.
Watching all of these other people in other states starting to repeat it with their own state birds.
This past weekend, Gothic Night turned ink into action, fundraising more than $6,000.
We have time and we have skill. And we have art to share. We had an estimated 150 people show up that we did not anticipate, which is a wonderful problem to have.
But for the people getting the tattoos, this isn't about money.
Realistically, you don't commit to putting something on your skin forever if it's just to cosplay.
For those looking, it's a way to find each other.
We have friends everywhere. We are not alone.
Like the loon's call across the water, hope travels fast. In Minneapolis with photojournalist Nick Luneman, Jason Rantala, WCCO News.
Honestly, just that last comment alone, can we just like listen to that again?
Travels fast.
Alone.
Like the loon's call across the water, hope travels fast.
I am not often prone to praising the poetic prose of journalists who are doing reporting, but like, that was beautiful. What a beautiful sentiment. You know, like, yes, the content of the story is great as well. People taking it upon themselves to actually, on their skin, permanently show a symbol of Minnesotan resistance, but also just
everywhere. We are not alone.
Like the loon's call across the water, hope travels fast.
I like that a lot. Like the loon's call across the water, hope travels fast. You know? That was some actual honest to God prose. And I will say also, shout out to Chris Hayes for showing up here in Minnesota and doing good work. He did a ride along today with folks who are out on patrol, following ICE around, trying to gum up the works and save people who ICE are targeting. And he showed up, he drove the drive, and he sat down and did an interview, or stood up and did an interview, I guess. Chris Hayes doing good work despite a media ecosystem that does not value folks in the mainstream doing actual reporting.
Wallstrom is one of those ICE watchers and a lead organizer of Defend the 612, the rapid response group which brings together volunteers in Minneapolis to patrol, protect, and improve their community during this period. And he joins me now. It's good to have you here. You know, one of the things I've been struck with just talking to people is just the scale of what's going on here. This is all just like average, regular folks, right? I mean, these are not paid, for instance, as the president likes to say.
Everyone has a day job, everyone has a family, everyone is trying to take care of their kids, and everyone is out here on the streets day after day.
Can you give me a sense of the scale? I read an interview where you talked about early back in December there being like a training for some of this stuff for like constitutional observers, and you 300, 500 people. Like, how many people are we talking about here?
There have been so many organizations training people to come out, and there have been so many different types of trainings. My guess would be at least 100,000 people have been trained in the Twin Cities in different kinds of observation, rapid response, showing up. I have never been more proud of the people of Minneapolis because in one voice, everyone has come out to do the same thing on the streets.
There is this tremendous social infrastructure that has been built up. I was seeing a little bit of today of just like dispatch and, group chats and people, different turf for patrols. Like, how did this all...
Also, for what it's worth, Jack, you helped inspire me to take part in the local recall petition for our conservative member of the Legislative Assembly. Hell yeah! Getting more and more involved in your local political scene is never a bad thing, and will always be worthwhile. I applaud you for stepping up.
Get made.
Minneapolis is a city with a lot of talented people. I mean, the way that we can come together to organize the PTA at a school, the same people are coming out to put that.
Literally the same people.
The
just to be
same
clear.
people are running dispatches, are dispatching people to emergencies. They're running, frankly, the equivalent of an underground railroad across the city of Minneapolis and beyond to protect our neighbors and make sure that they have food, they have rides, they can get to
care,
medical appointments.
Yeah,
going home to home. There is no part of this that's not impressive. And in Minneapolis, we had the experience of the George Floyd uprising of 2020. And so those systems of care that came together in that time persisted and were able to just be amplified probably 50 times more in this time.
When I was riding around today, I was talking to those folks, and I talked to a few other people that have been here that I think this is viewed maybe outside here, and particularly on the right, as like this in this very partisan lens. Yeah. Like, well, of course, they're anti-Trumpers and they're libs, and it's a blue city, so they don't like Donald Trump. And I've just been struck that, like, it seems to me that people's motivation for doing this kind of work, which we have seen is physically risky, right, is not coming from the place of, I hate Donald Trump. It's coming from something else. How would you describe what is...
Wait, why is he saying this on mainstream media? Because nothing that he's doing is wrong or illegal. It is not illegal to film cops. It is not illegal to film feds. It is not illegal to drive where you will on a public street. It is not illegal to have a whistle. It's not illegal to blow a whistle. Nothing that he's doing is illegal. Nothing that in the signal chats that, conservatives are talking about how they've infiltrated it, low-level insurgent signal chats in Minneapolis. There's nothing there that's illegal, because all they're doing, like a PTA, is organizing folks. Most of these groups rise out of parents getting involved with their local school in order to plan like patrols, in order to keep kids safe, so that like kids aren't getting yanked out of there by ICE. When he compares it to a PTA, he's not joshing. Like that's literally what's happening locally. That's where all of these volunteers initially came from. And I would say, like, if you want to get involved, if you're starting to look at ICE in your neighborhoods, like, go help out at your local school, because a lot of these folks, a lot of ICE, they're looking for the most vulnerable people in your community, and that is always going to be children first. That's where they started lurking, outside of the courtrooms, outside of the schools. Get involved with your local school system and, like, put yourself at the disposal of folks who are scheduling parents or members of the community to come by and watch out for ICE around schools. It's not illegal, but going on mainstream media and announcing all of your moves is just not smart right now. It's the opposite of what should be happening. But that's the thing. Like, this guy is not unique. Like, that's part of the problem the Trump administration is running into, is that the people who are organizing here in the Twin Cities, that guy's just one of, like, hundreds, if not thousands. Like, what is happening here is not just one guy. He's a small piece of the puzzle. And like he's doing like very important work, but like there are other people in the community who, if he got disappeared by the government tomorrow, would step in to fill his space. A lot of folks here are going around and doing their utmost. They are trailing like ICE agents wherever they go. It's not a secret. They like when people are meeting up and like where people are getting their supplies and which businesses are like storing stuff for people to pick up to deliver to like people in hiding. Like it's not done in secret because there's nothing illegal about it. It's decentralized. Yes. Essentially people are showing up and volunteering, but like operational security is really important if you need the security, but the thing about this is that we're doing this in the open. And that is to our benefit because it invites more people in. And 99 times out of 100, those people are well-intentioned. It's not true at all, it's hundreds of people. Well, no, I mean, like, there are literally thousands of people engaged locally. It's not just hundreds of people locally. It is thousands of people are engaged locally. Maybe hundreds of people in like leadership positions or de facto leadership positions, but like folks are learning now, and like the people who didn't know what to do at the beginning, they know what to do now. Like those folks can step up if other people get disappeared. And more trainings are happening as time goes on. It's really, really cool to see what's happening here. Let's see. Let's finish this.
Bringing people to this work.
I would say like any community anywhere across the U.S. and across the world, no one accepts abductions of their children from schools, from daycare centers, from outside their home.
I got you, Lady
There's no
Ringflat.
one who is going to look at what has been happening on the streets of Minneapolis and not be completely horrified at the absolute sickness of it. And so what you see...
The first rule of Help Club is we can definitely talk about Help Club. I like that a lot.
...is veterans who received care from Alex at the Veterans...
Yeah, and I think that's what's important about this being on mainstream media, is that sharing the rough approximation of how these networks here work here is really helpful to other places and other communities that are shortly or currently being targeted by ICE. We need organization and decentralized networking like what exists here in the Twin Cities. We need that everywhere. We need that everywhere in this country that ICE is going to set foot in.
Administration hospital coming out and saying in one voice, this is not okay. What you see is our suburban friends from around the belt of Minneapolis coming in to do patrol and to stand outside schools to protect children. There is the resonance in the city of Minneapolis, across the Twin Cities, and all of Minnesota. I have never seen anything like this.
I keep hearing the word neighbor from people, like as the elemental unit of what they are trying to do.
Yeah.
I've heard many people say, I'm looking out for my neighbors. I'm trying to protect my neighbors. I want my neighbors to thrive.
Yeah.
And I just found it very moving and profound that like, that is kind of the elemental building block of a democracy is neighbor. And it seems like people are really feeling that now.
Yeah, and it's where we practice. I mean, the people who can respond within minutes are the people who are in whistle distance from your home or from wherever you are or can hear you honking. And we have been each other's first line of response. We have been the rapid responders. And so you hear a whistle in my neighborhood, every single door on the block, people come out, people look, there's cars on the street looking. The block by block organizing has been absolutely stunning.
I asked this earlier today when I was riding around with those two folks. There's real risk here. I mean, it's horrific to have seen and to contemplate. Like, are people scared? Are they like, did you hear from people at trainings or get-togethers after Renee Good was shot and killed or Alex Preddy was shot and killed? Like, I'm sorry, I can't come in today.
I live near Renee Good and where she was assassinated. What I saw the day after was the amount of people coming out doubled. What I see is it's absolutely risky. They will shoot my neighbor Renee in the face. They will assassinate Alex on the streets of Minneapolis. And there is no way that any of us can go to bed at night knowing that we did not do everything in our power to carry on Renee's work, to carry on Alex's work. And the people of Minneapolis can sleep soundly because we have shown up day after day for 8 weeks to protect each other and to protect our neighbors.
Can you outlast them?
I don't see any signs of slowing. What I see is more and more people stepping into their courage and moving together with one voice, whether it's looking at the hotels that are housing these abductors, looking at the rental companies like Enterprise that are renting them cars. The restaurants are refusing to serve them and opening their doors and giving free food to everyone on the block. Like, Minneapolis is not tired. Minneapolis is out here in 17-degree weather day after day, and things are just heating up.
All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good to be here.
It literally just heating up because we're going into spring. I see what you did there, Andrew. Good job. I will say, like, he's right. What's happening here in the Twin Cities is people are figuring out where ICE is weak. They are uniting in their opposition to ICE, and they are stepping up to have safety in numbers. We outnumber them. We're going to out-organize them. We are going to be outside of every hotel in the area. We are going to be outside of every rental place in the area. You renting out those U-Hauls, we're going to be watching how many dudes you putting in those U-Hauls. You gonna be renting Enterprise? We're gonna be making sure that Enterprise is aware of that. And putting pressure on folks who are doing business with ICE until they stop doing business with ICE. That's the name of the game. If ICE is infiltrating your area, you should be putting pressure on the motels and on the hotels that are putting them up. Put pressure on the places that are renting them vehicles. Put pressure on your local and state government to make sure that ICE cannot simply just print out fake license plates for their rented vehicles. There is so much to do. And folks need to realize that we're going to need to get even more creative. Where we're at right now, we're still in the infant stages of actually putting together a comprehensive way to oppose ICE in our communities.
So now we get Homan for his photo ops. The guy that took a bag of cash but can't buy good enough adhesive for his dentures.
Look, I'm not trying to say that Tom Homan is a dumb man. But can we say for certain that if we handed him a paper bag full of, I don't know, $1 million in Monopoly money, he wouldn't leave Minneapolis alone? I'm just asking questions. All right? If we hand him a bag of Monopoly money, will he think it's real and leave us alone? As a backup plan, I'm still very much in favor of, we need to get like a brass band to follow Tom Homan around just to play bum 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 bum. Like we need something like that. I think it'd be very effective. Yakety sax is for the rank and file. The tuba blast is for Tom Homan only. Devin Deadhouse, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciated. You know, I do have to say the tide is turning when the Catholic Church is beginning to throw its weight directly behind policies that run counter to the Trump administration, which is, by the way, what we are now seeing happen here. This PBS NewsHour segment was really good.
Highest-ranking Catholic leaders and a top ally of Pope Leo is sharply criticizing the Trump administration's immigration enforcement, calling ICE a lawless organization. During an interfaith service this week, Cardinal Joseph Tobin, the head of the Archdiocese of Newark, urged members of the church to pressure lawmakers to block funding for ICE. His remarks come after the deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Nicole Good, and after the detention of Liam Conejo Ramos, a 5-year-old boy who was taken into custody by federal agents after arriving home from preschool and sent with his father to a family detention center in Texas. For more now, we're joined by Cardinal Joseph Tobin. Thanks for being with us.
Good evening.
Before speaking out, I imagine you must have weighed the implications. What specific moral and theological convictions ultimately compelled you to speak publicly?
I think the principal motivator was a concern for the common good. You know, in Catholic way of thinking and approaching social moral questions, it's not simply the vindication of competing rights, but it's rather the preservation of the common good. And so to look at how the actions in Minneapolis or anywhere else affect the common good, those of people like whom you mentioned, the refugees, people without legal status, as well as the citizens of the United States.
And you've called not just for prayer, but for political action, calling for the defunding of ICE, as we mentioned. What concrete changes?
Like when even the Catholic Church is calling on like the defunding and abolition of ICE, like, man, you're cooked. You're cooked. Get the fuck out of here. Like, just end it already.
Do you envision?
Well, I think what we want to do is as much as possible is use as a principal motivator the human dignity of people. And I think what I was calling for, and I still call for and will call for, is the recognition of the dignity of human beings, no matter what their legal status may be.
How do you reconcile this call to push back against actions you believe are unjust with the church's teaching and the scripture's teaching of respect for government authority?
Well, I think that, you know, we pray for our government officials. And as St. Paul says in 1 Timothy, we pray that in order that we can live tranquil and decent lives, you know, and following our values. And
I don't know what that means, Jupiter Quake, but thank you for the $2 super chat.
And so we not only pray for ourselves, but we pray for others, because we recognize in human dignity the dignity of especially people who do not necessarily look like us.
In your message, you also invoked the rise of authoritarianism. Do you believe the country is headed in that direction, or that we're presently there? And if so, what are the biggest moral choices facing Americans right now?
Honestly, we're all just waiting for Pope Leo to excommunicate J.D. Vance. That would be the funniest possible outcome to all of this.
I think we have to ask ourselves about the ongoing discord within our society and ask what the roots are. We also have to ask ourselves as Americans, where do we want our country to go? You know, what do we want it to be, both here within our national borders and in the community of nations? These are questions that require, I think, respectful listening to each other, and also the freedom to express our opinions.
You know, separate from the moral question, there is the political question. And you could argue that President Trump won the Electoral College, he won the popular vote, he won every battleground state running on tougher immigration enforcement, and that lax enforcement under the Biden administration caused real harm.
Well, I'd like to make it clear that I'm not endorsing anybody's political program or even that the values of a movement. Rather, I think what we need to do is see what's happening in front of us and then recall what I think is a fundamental value for any of us, with faith, without faith. I really hope that the recognition of the human dignity of others is important. And when we see that dignity violated, sometimes in a very egregious and even fatal manner, then we have to say something.
Never stop reaching for the furthest star. Ring Planet Yope, 2 hearts emoji.
I am so theater brained that I instantly thought about the the impossible dream from Man of La Mancha. I don't know if that's what you were deliberately trying to invoke, but was a sweet memory, and thank you for the $10 super chat, Jupiter Quake.
As a faith leader looking at this moment in American life marked by deep turmoil, but also by people coming together in unexpected ways, do you see signs of hope?
I really believe that without hope, we're truly in a miserable state.
Thanks. This guy not doing a great job selling me on the concept, but you know what? What is important is that he's putting more pressure on this administration and more pressure to defund and abolish ICE. And, you know, I'll take that kind of pressure wherever we can get it, okay? Let's take a look here at an on-the-street interview from Talia Jane, who came to Minneapolis a few days ago to talk to folks protesting.
Intersection where ICE murdered someone earlier today. We have people who are blockading the space to protect it from the state agencies and whatnot. And you came over and you told me to tell the truth, and you said that you were very upset with the press. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
I watched this happen today. I saw the news when it came out. The national news immediately dismissed this guy, tried to vilify him, say that he had a gun and he was attacking ICE. We all saw the video. He was trying to protect 2 women from ICE. He never pulled his gun. ICE disarmed him and shot him. The news has been lying. You've been lying for 20 years, the national news. Whitewashing Trump, whitewashing everything that's happening. Trying to normalize all the chaos, all the upheaval, all the lies, trying to just lie to the American people and cover things up, like the Epstein files, like the fact that Trump is stealing from the American people. He's stealing our fucking tax dollars and then killing us in the streets, and we still have to pay taxes in April for this shit. That's my problem. Fox News lies. They are conservative propaganda. All they do is spread lies and propaganda every fucking day, 24/7.
This dude's spitting. But like, yeah, we gotta pay taxes for this. Like, why? Like, genuinely, a question I would love folks to answer. Like, I feel so angry every day here in Minneapolis, and it is that, like, there's a part of me where I am extraordinarily furious that the state is trying to coerce me into paying taxes for all of the harm that is being done to my community. It is really, really infuriating. And like, I don't know, this is where normal people are at in the Twin Cities area, folks.
ICE agents who had the audacity to come and try to arrest and kidnap people leaving church on a Sunday morning. We turned into a parking lot and were greeted by approximately 4 unmarked ICE vehicles.
And can I just say real quick, the Trump administration is trying to argue that, like, interrupting worship is a criminal offense that they will prosecute you to the ends of the earth and back for. But when ICE interrupts a church service to apprehend undocumented people, or presumably undocumented people, maybe just some black and brown people in the church, suddenly it's totally fine. Go ICE, I voted for this. Yeah, because you got a dildo stuck in the middle of your brain. Like, the people like you like skull fucked yourself so thoroughly that, like, you think this is great and this won't wind up on your doorstep. You stupid bitch. People in Minneapolis are fighting this to protect you. Like, this is what you guys just don't get. Like, conservatives like you who come in here like, hell yeah, we voted for this shit. Go fuck yourself, liberals. Like, we're fighting this for you fuckers. Because when your fascist utopia comes about, guess what? They're coming after you. Because if you were actually here in Minneapolis, you'd understand they're not just going after undocumented people. They're going after anybody. Conservative, liberal, doesn't matter. If you filleted Donald goddamn Trump right in the middle of the street in front of everybody, they might still go after you because they don't give a fuck. Like, you think that your dick riding of Donald Trump is going to keep you safe. It's not. You stupid fucks. Like, when you guys are, like, saying, like, yeah, I voted for this, understand, you voted to undermine your own rights. You're sitting on the tree branch, sawing it off, and you're like, huh, this 40-foot plunge will sure show you guys, and I won't feel anything. Because I just smashed my head in with a hammer. Like, you guys are stupid, and I hate you. But I'm still going to do my part here in this city, right here, right now, to fight for you dumb fucks. God, it's awful. You dick-riding Biden didn't help you too? This is, again, you've skull-fucked yourselves. You don't understand what you're talking about, because if you did, you'd know that I didn't dick-ride for Biden. I hated Joe Biden, you stupid, dickless idiot. God. These fucking morons. Like, oh yeah, well, you rode Biden's dick. No, I actually had self-respect, unlike you conservative fucks. It's wild. It is wild to wake up every day and advocate for a world where these people will get universal health care. To advocate for a world where these people will be guaranteed housing. Where these people will be guaranteed, like, the ability to live like good, honest lives of dignity. And you know, I'm gonna keep doing it because that's my principled position. And it doesn't matter if all of these hateful idiots come in here and throw slurs at me or, you know, woefully misunderstand politics in my direction. I'll still fight for their rights because I believe that those should be universal rights, and I am not budging on that belief. But, like, damn, you conservative dipshits, don't make it easy. Kicking and screaming the entire way towards a better future because you don't want to share it with black and brown people or people who, like, want to have sex with someone you don't approve of. It's fucking wild.
Also, conservative Trump is taking your guns away.
Oh, God. Yeah, he also is now saying that, you know, if you have a gun, federal agents can just shoot you. So, like, I don't know. I think you guys might have fucked yourselves, but what do I know? I'm just a lefty. God, yeah, but I'm the bad guy because I want you guys to be cursed with the ability to be literate.
With agents who immediately stopped us and pointed semi-automatic weapons in our face, asked us to roll down the windows, threatened us multiple times with arrest. I mentioned to them, or I asked them if they had a warrant for my arrest. They said, we don't need one. And they continued to threaten us multiple times, pointing guns at my wife and I's face.
Yeah, you know, this liberal man leaving a conservative church in the area. I'm sure he's super happy about people voting for Trump. Hey, Philly, I'm assuming you live in Philadelphia? Have fun with these ICE fuckos being around your neighborhood soon. You're gonna have to get real good at working with liberals to fight them. Best of luck to you. We'll keep doing our part here in Minneapolis. I hope you are brave enough to do your part in Philly.
We were kind of trapped because we had come in and they jumped, you know, they came toward us
Oh, you're in Alaska? You should go to Philly and volunteer.
right away with their guns. And so the only way out was really to back up too.
Jan was very nervous.
I was scared. I've never had two guns.
I've never had a gun pointed at me before in my life. And to think that these individuals represent
our government.
And here I am, we're a retired couple. And this is terrorism.
Wow.
They took pictures of my car and my license. It's a personalized license that I made in memory of my grandchildren, and they mocked it. They were acerbic. They were obviously not trained at all. I've known many police officers in my life. These people were right off the streets. They just had collected their $50,000.
No level of professionalism.
Zero. They had the professional demeanor of criminals.
Miranda rights.
The Miranda rights. None. No, nothing. Just unprofessional. They were like the insurrectionists you saw pictures of at the Capitol. And here they're terrorizing an American retired couple. It's unbelievable. It makes me ashamed.
I mean, this is where, like, relatively non-political people wind up. They keep getting on the receiving end of ICE, and it turns out people don't like that. It turns out, hey, people like me who live a couple blocks away from where a woman was shot to death in the face don't like that. Turns out people like me who live near where a guy was executed in the street by federal agents don't like that. But conservatives keep coming in here to tell me I should be grateful for the services being rendered by the federal government. I should be grateful for the street side executions that are being visited upon my community. It's infuriating. It is fucking infuriating to have to listen to these bootlickers come in day after day. Have you no shame? Have you no decency? Of course I know the answer to those questions, but like, damn, have some semblance of, like, I don't know, honor? But of course, none of these conservatives could understand honor, could understand dignity, could understand any of that. Because when they see someone killed that they don't like, they just think it's great. Here is Tim Walz on a local, on a mainstream interview.
Look, I know why the president called, and
you've been in the military. You talk about honor. I've known people with more honor than folks who have been in the military, and I've known people in the military with more honor than folks who haven't been in the military. But if you think just being in the military makes someone an honorable person, that's not the case. The people in our military who are bombing civilians in boats, they don't have honor. The people in our military who have pulled the trigger on innocent people, they don't have honor. When you speak of honor as if the only people who can have it are people who have served in the military, you don't know what honor is. Honor is standing up to an armed federal agent in order to defend someone on the ground and saying, "Are you okay?" before being brutally executed in the street for standing up for someone who was in trouble. That's someone who died with honor. People like you, conservatives, do not fucking understand. The folks out there who are clapping like seals for that man's execution don't know the first thing about honor. They wouldn't know honor if it slapped them in the face. Honor is kind of a European patriarchal concept. No, it's not, actually. I mean, yes, it is in the sense that you might be using it, but in the sense that I'm using it, I'm talking about bravery, dignity, a combination of all of those that form a kind of moral code that bind us together in the bonds of community and communal spirit. The thing that we in Minnesota call neighborliness could better maybe be called honor. Those who stand up for their neighbors, who stand at the side of the people they live next to, the people that they care about, the people that are here day in and day out, those are people with honor. The salt of the earth kinds of people who show up every day, who show up to serve others and not to be served. It is infuriating that so many people do not understand this concept. I think it is telling that a lot of MAGA folks don't understand honor. And they don't understand neighborliness. And they don't understand community. They don't get it. They do not understand the concepts of solidarity and brotherhood They merely LARP at them. They merely make vague gestures in the direction of any of them at any given time, but they do not know those qualities. I can think of few more honorable than Alex Preddy. Alex Preddy dedicated his life to serving others, dedicated his life to caring for veterans, dedicated his life to standing up for his community, and that dedication, that care, that neighborliness, he died for that. It's valuable. And conservatives have no fucking idea what any of that means. Because they just look at that and they clap. Because they think the federal agents are the be-all, end-all of what it means to be patriotic. So really, we're just going to pretend that Democrats aren't as deluded as the Republicans or even MAGA? You don't fucking... Like, you guys keep coming into a stream. I'm a socialist. I don't stand for the Democratic Party. When you come in here and you're like, oh, but you stand for the Democrats. When I advocate for people to get involved with their local Democratic Party, I'm advocating for a fucking takeover. I'm advocating for people who actually want to get you healthcare. I'm advocating for them to get into power. I want healthcare for all. I want housing for all. No one should be going hungry or homeless in this country. No one should be going without healthcare in this country. And you conservative fuckos keep coming in here and saying, no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine for people to suffer needlessly in this country as long as we can give trillions of dollars to Elon Musk. You stupid bastards. You stupid dupes. I have a few bridges. Do you want to buy them? Because apparently the only thing that gets through to you conservative fuckwads is scams. Can I offer you a multi-level marketing entry position? Like, goddamn. It's crazy. You got a dick? Act like it? You know, it's so funny how revealing you guys get about genitals, isn't it? It is interesting. You guys just keep going. You guys just keep going on genitals. It's really telling. But, you know, unsurprising that you look at me and you start thinking about my genitals. Editor, make a Jack yelling at chat compilation. Is that fun for you guys to watch in post? I don't know. You've got solidarity from Italy. They're thinking of denying visas over ICE being sent to the Winter Olympics. They should. The world should not be coming here with sports teams. Like, it's a fucking mess. Did I miss something? ICE went to Italy. They want to send ICE to the Winter Olympics in Milan. It's causing an international incident.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather around. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack.